Yasasyon. Glad you joined me in Judy's kitchen today. And today we're going to be making one of the simplest, easiest Greek dishes that you can make. Super fast, super easy, and super cost effective too. So come on over here and we'll show you what to put in here in all the ingredients. All right, so the ingredients that I've put in here are fresh green beans. And you can get the green beans like this in your produce department. Use frozen, fresh, whatever you've got. These are some that have already been snipped and cleaned and ready to go. So I've already got some in my pot here, and I'm going to add some more in there. All right. And then the next thing I'm going to add are parboiled small baby Yukon Gold potatoes. Now you can use any kind of potatoes you use to boil with, but I like the little small Yukon Gold ones. I parboiled these because the green beans don't take long to cook at all. So I wanted to make sure the potatoes were already parboiled so I could get those done quickly. All right, so get that in there. All right, just kind of mix those in there for a little bit. The next thing I'm going to add is onions and garlic. I've already pre-sauteed one whole large onion and about 4 cloves of garlic. You can put less or more or none if you want to, but for sure you want these sauteed sweet onions. So we'll put those in there with the garlic that's been sauteed also. The next ingredient we're going to put in, I used the Cento brand San Marzano, the large can of tomatoes. But if you want to use fresh or some from produce department, some from your yard, the main thing is you just want them peeled and you want them crushed. I put mine in my food processor because these are whole San Marzano tomatoes. So I pureed those and I will add these over the top. And that large pan is all you need, and it makes I don't recommend that you use tomato paste or canned tomato sauce or even chunk tomatoes. You want the whole tomatoes that have been pureed. All right. So the next ingredient we're going to use is a little pinch of crushed red pepper. Now that's up to you how much you use. I don't use much. I just like just a little bit. I'll take it and just kind of crush it in my fingers and add that in there, and that's enough for us. But feel free to add more. All right, then we're going to add a little black pepper in here, so I'm going to grind that up on the top. Now, you know, always after you cook a dish like this that requires layers of seasoning, you're going to want to check it before you eat it again. So we'll go ahead and just put what I think is the right amount in there, and then we'll find out later. Put a little salt in there. This is my Greek sea salt, but you use whatever salt you've got. Because these potatoes are going to eat up the salt. All right, I have already added the chicken bouillon. Now, if I had chicken stock, I would have added that, but I'm out of the chicken stock. I don't like beef stock in this dish particularly, that's just me. So I went ahead and put this in there with 4 cups of water in the bottom. All right, the next thing I added was half of a stick of butter, and that will melt over there. I did saute the onions and garlic in a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, not much because this dish has got butter in it. And then we're going to add just a pinch of sugar or honey, whatever you like. I usually always mix my white sugar with half and half with light brown sugar. So that's why it's got that little bit of a darker color, but it just gives it a little extra richness that we really like. So I'm not going to stir it around a lot right now. We're just going to kind of layer that on there. And then we're gonna turn it on. Now this pot, Ava, if you wanna come over here and show what pot I'm using. It's a Ninja pot. And if you can see the writing on there, it does slow cook, it sears, it steams, it does sous vide, it braises, it bakes, it proofs. Now the bake is just like this was in the oven. So I could put this in the oven in a blue pot like that over there on my counter, like a big blue pot, heavyweight pot. But today I'm going to use my Ninja that is like an oven, and I'm going to put it on 350 as if it were cooking in my oven, and we're going to get that going. And we'll come back to you as soon as it's done. All right? All right, we've got the beans and the potatoes done now, and they turned out so good. The one thing that I did add that I forgot to add in the beginning, I wanted to tell you about, is a little oregano and a little basil, and that would be what they would put in their beans and potatoes and grease. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can just use your salt and pepper and those other things that I mentioned, but this is really nice if you just add a little oregano and basil to that. It turned out beautifully in the pot. Normally I bake mine in bakeware in the oven on 350, and since I was able to bake it in here on 350, it turned out just the same. So anyway, I want you to try this. It takes just a few minutes to make up, and it is really delicious. The potatoes are so juicy and tender in here, and the green beans and the onions and all the tomatoes, everything just blends so well together. My family loves it. They grew up eating it in Greece, and I've continued to make it everywhere we've been since then. So y'all come back next week. You're always welcome in Yaya Judy's Kitchen.